Justin.
Folks, on behalf of the whole team at Brigshaw Real Estate, I want to welcome you here to the auction, of course, at number 1 Vision Avenue in the backbone of Sorrento. A beautiful piece of real estate going up for grabs on an even better Sunday morning here. And what a peach of a day it is to be calling yourself the new proud homeowner of this absolutely spectacular property. If you are here to bid, my instructions to you are very clear, and that is to make sure you bid boldly, bid aggressively. More importantly though, buyers, make sure you bid to the absolute upper echelon of your capacity and give yourself every opportunity of being that lucky and successful buyer here today. And I've got no doubt the buyer has joined us here this morning in attendance, and I'd like to say congratulations to that particular person in advance on their magnificent purchase. And what a magnificent purchase it'll be for them for the many, many, many years to come. I'd also like to take the opportunity to say to our vendors who are tuning in live, thank you very much for, of course, giving myself as the auctioneer and the whole selling team at Brigshaw Real Estate the pleasure and honour of auctioning off what is arguably their most prized possession. Folks, the auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price. Folks, as the auctioneer, I'm going to be indicating bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and it will provide fines for this conduct. The rules permit vendor bids. The words I'm going to be using during the auction to indicate I am making a bid on behalf of our vendors are simply vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, ladies and gentlemen, can be placing those vendor bids. Now, buyers, very quickly, our settlement terms are flexible here this morning, which is going to give you plenty of buying added convenience. 30, 60 or 90 days is absolutely a-okay from our vendor's perspective. Should give you plenty of confidence here when you want to settle on the property and start creating the priceless family memories here in Sorrento that you have been longing for. We're going to be asking as well for a standard 10% deposit payable today. That, of course, will be 10% of the full purchase price of the property here today. You can make that payable at the conclusion of the auction when we're getting you to sign the contract of sale by either bank cheque or EFT transfer, which is the common method of payment these days, and that can be, of course, be transferred to the trust account of Brigshaw Real Estate. Buyers, number 1 Vision Avenue, Sorrento. What an address that is. A beautiful piece of real estate here today on a prime block here. A wonderful opportunity and a wonderful acquisition for the lucky buyer to be calling themselves their very, very own. 3 bedrooms, a couple of bathrooms and car spacing, underpinning a prospective purchase of some of the finest soil that Sorrento has on offer, spanning over 2 gorgeous, spacious levels with multiple living zones to boot, of course, and a wonderful aura and ambience throughout the property. An abundance of natural light, quality fixtures and fittings throughout the property, vaulted ceilings, and of course that gorgeous coastal look that we all crave for, especially when we're buying in the Mornington Peninsula. Not to mention we're on a corner allotment here with 2 gated entries. It is an unbelievable opportunity for you to purchase, and your real estate journey quite literally could come to an end today if 1 Vision Avenue Sorrento is the property that you simply want to embark on, and I simply cannot understand why it wouldn't be. Location-wise, we are literally a hustle and bustle away from Sorrento's main strip where everything's at your disposal. Cafes, restaurants, of course, Point Nepean Road just down the road, short stroll to the beach, you name it, the list just goes on and on and on. Medical facilities, literally everything that you could simply ask for a sea change, lifestyle change, whatever you want to call it. It's all here, it's all ready for you to purchase, and the property is presented for you, the next buyer, to make your very own. So, without further ado, I don't mind where we start the auction. I'm more than happy to get the auction moving at any opening figure at all. Buyers, if you see value, now's the time to let me know. Very, very, very realistic reserve and quote range on the property, so I hope there's going to be spirited bidding here this morning. Don't mind where we start, buyers. I'm going to be in your hands. Who'd like to get the auction underway? folks, I don't mind where we start the auction. We can all sit around and stand here all day and hope that someone starts the auction, but you've got to do it if you have any genuine interest in the property. I'm more than happy to get the auction moving on my end with an opening vend or bid, but it's not going to pay anybody any favours here. So if you want to start the auction on your end and dictate where the increments go from there and potentially have the property passed into you to have that exclusive right to negotiate, you do need to be the front runner. You do need to be the opening bidder, and funnily enough, you'll give yourself an 80% chance of buying the property if you are the opening bidder. You'll scare your competition away from the very, very onset. So I'll give you one final opportunity now, and if there's no opening bid, I'll get things moving on my end, and I'll hopefully tempt you to jump back over the top from there. Let's call it 3 times, guys. Here's your chance. Once, twice, third. Final opportunity. Out, done, finished, and absolutely silent. Gee, it's a big crowd with no bid. What's going on? Right, folks, I'm going to get the auction moving at 1.8 million, very light, very conservative, below the bottom end of the range. Now I'm going to invite you to jump back now. We'll go a $50,000 rise straight to 185. Here's the opportunity for you, and hopefully you see value in that range, and I'm sure you do. Literally just got off the phone with our seller before. Her reserve and his reserve, I should say, are so incredibly realistic. We want to unlock that opportunity for you to buy today, but the only way we're going to do that is if we see any form of genuine bidding out here this morning. Help me out here, guys. I don't want to stand around all day and keep placing vendor bids. It's not going to do anybody any favours. I can look good and just keep placing bids and have a show for you, but reality is if you're here to buy, you've got to put your hand up and let me know. At 1.8's the offer. 50 to jump back. Got to be quick now. Call it 3 times, buyers. Once at 1.8, twice at 1.8. Third final opportunity at 1.8 million. Out, done, finished, and absolutely silent here. Folks, I'm going to keep the auction moving at 185. We'll go there, bottom end of the range now. 25 grand to jump back on top, taking it to 1875. At 1.85 is the offer. Now we're going in 50s, but 25s I'm happy to move in just to get you involved in the auction. At 1.85 is the offer. A wonderful opportunity here in the beating heart of Sorrento, and it's absolutely great value buying at that level. And I'm sure everybody would agree here, especially to all the neighbours that have come along here. Please don't be disrespected by this price. We're simply trying to invite bidders in here so they see value. That's the market we're in right now, and we've got a realistic reserve price. We want a result here today, as do you, but the only way that's going to happen is if our buyers compete for the property. I'm the only one doing it, and right now, I'll tell you, I literally don't feel like buying a property, and I'm the one that's going to be buying it. So at 1.85, 25 to jump back on top, and within 875, we seek buyers. Welcome, Matt's here. Time to jump on it while it's still hot, or you're literally going to be back to your web portal of choice, searching for real estate you probably won't even like as much. An unbelievable corner opportunity here in the heart of Sorrento. They don't come around very often, and now is your chance to capitalise. Had a million, what, 850,000 now. Last call, we'll call it 3 times, or we wrap up the auction. Once at 1,850,000, twice at 1,850,000, third and final chance at 1.85. Out, done. Buyers, we're finished and we're silent. There's no bidding. Justin will take a very quick break for 2 minutes. We'll call our sellers. Buyers will be right back out. Thank you for your patience.
Exactly. It started, yeah.
They start. Nobody started when they're just
No, no, it's a lot.
600.
Of course he did. Oh, not fine. Another one. But you can but you reckon That's right.
Virtually most of our block is wasted because it's it's like that and like that. So you've got the future also. Το οικόπεδο πίσω, σηκώνεται. I've done it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So everyone's trying to get a part.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
At some point, put an agreement there.
Yes.
Folks, I want to thank you very, very much for your patience and anticipation while we consolidate with our sellers on the phone. Instructions are very, very, very clear. What's going to happen moving forward is we're not going to be placing any more vendor bids, given our vendor's reserve price is incredibly realistic. So we're going to move into a private negotiation. If there is no genuine bidding beyond 1.85, I'll keep it there. I won't place any more. You can certainly jump over the top at 1.875, and if there is no bids over your bid, I will pass the property into you and I will open up that exclusive opportunity for you to negotiate one-on-one with our sellers, and you'll have the right to buy the property at the vendor's reserve price. Just bear in mind, if we pass the property in at 1.85, which is the number that it currently stands at, it means that myself and the agents can start speaking and negotiating with every single prospective interested party. And our vendors have instructed us to negotiate with our two conditional interested parties straight after the auction that weren't able to bid today under auction terms. So we will enter into those negotiations urgently, pretty much straight away, because they do need a result today, the sellers. So I will say this again, can't stress it enough, if you want to bid and be the buyer, you do need to be the front runner, and right now that is myself. And as I said as a joke, I don't really feel like buying a property here today, so help me out here, buyers. At 185 now, we're going to go 25 grand on top. This is your final opportunity here with a measly 25,000, and you literally have the opportunity to negotiate. The power is in your hands. You can dictate the terms. The sellers are open to meeting the market's expectations. I simply cannot stress that enough. Most sellers in this market don't want to meet the market's expectations. Let's all cut the crap. They do. These sellers want to meet the market's expectations. So I want to help you buy, but you've got to help me too. At 185, last opportunity, 25 grand on top. I know I'm dragging the auction out, but I simply cannot tell you anymore how much of a great opportunity this is to buy. So Justin will wrap up the auction now. I'll call it 3 more times. 185 the offer, 25 to jump back on top. Got to be quick now. Once, twice, third, final chance. At 1.85, out, done, finished, and silent now. Folks, on behalf of the whole team, Roots Short Real Estate, I want to thank you very much for coming along to our auction here this morning. Please enjoy the rest of your afternoon and the long weekend. We will certainly update you with the sold result very, very shortly once we start negotiating. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excuse me, can you bring me out the section?
Yeah, no, we'll.
Got my glass.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
Just,
sure.
yeah, we will.
I email you the section so they do now.
Okay.
Yeah,